Gamers, welcome back to Full Grip Games Gym Leader Challenge League. We've got John Patterson up against Alex Carpenter. This is the finals of the Full Grip Games League of Gym Leader Challenge. Gym Leader Challenge, if you don't know, is a format where you can only play one type of Pokemon. So Alex on the left is playing only Lightning type Pokemon. John on the right is playing only Water type. And it's also a singleton non-rule box format. So no EXs, no Vs, no GXs, and also only one of any card. There's only one Mareep in Alex's deck. There's only one Remoraid in John's deck, as well as every other card in the deck. Both players have their colorless badge so far. You earn a badge when you win with that type. And whoever has a badge at the end of the year, at least one badge, gets invited to the Full Grip Games Finale Invitational Tournament hosted by Tricky Jim. Both of these players going for their second badge, though. Alex's beloved Lightning type deck. John is playing a Seismitoad build of Water. Going to start off with that Hisuian Basculin's free attack Gather the Crew to search his deck for two basic Pokemon and put them onto his bench. Immediately going for that Tympole, which evolves into the Seismitoad, which is pretty strong in this matchup. Seismitoad has an ability that makes your opponent's Pokemon's attacks cost an extra energy. So that is a great wall against the Lightning deck. And we'll see, going back into Alex's turn, it looks like he just has an attack with the Mareep into the Basculin, flips a coin for paralysis, and it does paralyze the Basculin. Alex a bit stuck in the water right now. We'll see if John can capitalize. That Basculin is paralyzed, and he's going to go for an Ultra Ball. He'll probably need at least another turn before he attacks to evolve all of his Pokemon. Ultra Ball being played here, discarding that Basculegion. That Basculegion could heal the paralysis, but it's not doing much right now. It would only be able to attack for 30 damage into this Mareep. So probably just wanted to get rid of it, thin the hand down to grab that Octillery, which allows you to draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. So John wanting to see some fresh new cards, see if he can begin evolving his other Pokemon like the Tympole and hopefully get some energy attachments down. Hisuian Heavy Ball being played and finding the Fione from the prizes. Fione allows you to force your opponent to switch out their active Pokemon when its ability is used from the bench. It's like a forced escape rope, but only on your opponent's side. Good way to push something out of the active. Debating on benching something else here, or it is a Birdkeeper actually. Finds the Birdkeeper supporter, switching into that Sobble and drawing 3 cards. PalToad is found, the first evolution of the Tympole, and a water energy attached to it. So John is on his way to attacking with Seismitoad. Maybe on his next turn, we will see. Alex going to draw for turn. Does he find something to get out of this hand? Would need to find that Zebstrika or a supporter to draw some cards. Looks like neither was found. But Muscle Band attachment onto the Mareep is going to allow it to boost its damage to 30 damage, and doubled with weakness into the Sobble will be enough to take the knockout. So Alex, despite a bad start, will get the first prize of the game with a Mareep. And we'll see if John can respond here to this Mareep and just take this game away from Alex. Gonna bench that Fione, and you can read that ability there. Whirlpool Suction. Professor's Research also is the supporter for turn. Gonna see a fresh new hand of 7 cards. Capacious Bucket found. Gonna find that second energy for the PalToad. Does he have the Seismitoad in hand as well? He could begin attacking this turn. Putting that second energy onto the PalToad there. It is the Splash Energy. Splash Energy is a special energy that says when this Pokemon is knocked out, you can put the Pokemon back into your hand, which allows you to recycle it, put it back down on the bench. In a singleton format, it's a good way to recycle key attackers in your deck. Has the Pot Helmet attachment, which also allows, it also blocks 30 damage from your opponent's attacks. Debating on switching into that PalToad. Does not have the evolution. Might have to sacrifice something else here. It's going to retreat into that Basculin and go for Call for Family once again. Super Rod being played from the hand as well. Going to put back that entire Sobble and Inteleon line, as well as... Can't tell what that last card is. It is going to be the Basque Legion. Will be able to draw one off of Octillery. It's just another water energy. Now we're going to go for the Call for Family, attack, gather the crew to get Sobble back down onto the bench. Will John decide to put another one down? We'll see. But Alex, beginning his turn already, does find an Electabuzz off of the top deck and attaches an energy. John also grabbing that cast form and putting it onto the bench as well. Maybe wanting to thin the deck as much as possible and take advantage while Alex is dead drawing, because Alex once again just goes for the Mareep attack. Normally in these spread matchup, you don't want to overbench, put in liabilities that you don't need, especially low HP Pokemon like Cast Form. Could die to a couple spread attacks and give Alex a pretty free prize. But John probably deciding to put it into play, like I said, to thin the deck as much as possible. Wants to be able to attack this turn and take advantage of Alex not doing anything. Because if Alex can draw out of this hand, could be bad. And John just has to pass, actually doesn't even find anything from this turn. Has an Iono in hand, decides not to play it. And unfortunately, not playing Iono in hopes that Alex cannot draw out of his hand, but Alex does top deck that Zebstrika, which will get this entire game online. Zebstrika allows you to discard your hand and draw 4 new cards, and Alex is just like that, is back in this game, and John, because he did not play that Iono, is getting a little bit punished, but there's no way John could have known. I probably would have done the same thing. Unfortunate for John, and extremely lucky on Alex's end to finally find that Zebstrika. Is going to put the Elekid into play as well. It's a nice free retreating Pokemon. Only 30 HP though. It could clean up that Basculin once it's on the bench later. Attaches Speed Lightning for turn to the Electabuzz. If Alex can find Electivire here, that is extremely scary for John. Alex filling his bench, discarding his whole hand with a Professor Sycamore as well to find 7 new cards. And now that single top deck of Zebstrika allowed Alex to get like 15 cards deeper into his deck. Insane, just because that single top deck. So Alex is right back in this game. John now actually looks to be on the wrong side of the board. That Electivire also is found. Just needs the Dynamotor from the Electric on the bench. And Alex is attacking with Electivire this turn. And that's how quickly games in Gym Leader Challenge can swing, just waiting for that key card to be found. And Alex's entire board, entire game plan is set up, ready to go. Retreats into the Electivire and is going to use High Voltage Current. This attack does 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. And John does not have tons of high HP Pokemon in play. That Basculin's going to go down. Sobble and Octillery will go down on the next turn as well. And the Cast Form, if he is able to use the Electivire's attack again. And Alex gets both Dynamotors into play. 50 everywhere. Alex takes his second prize. Only 4 prizes remaining. That PalToad, yes, also needs to take a couple extra damage. We'll take 20 damage since the Pot Helmet only blocks 30 damage. And since Electivire has 140 HP, Seismitoad's attack when you're just starting out only does 100 damage, so it won't even have enough to knock out that Electivire. So I think this Electivire might be sticking around. John debating on attaching an energy to the Fion before using its ability, which will put an energy into the discard pile. I'm curious as to why he would decide to do that. Maybe to activate an Aqua Patch if that is found in the deck. Also maybe to thin it out of his hand. Curious to know what John was thinking there. Although Alex having to switch does bring up just the Elekid. If John has to take a knockout on this Elekid, leaving Alex's board still entirely set up, and Electivire coming back swinging for more. And that is rough on John's side. That single top deck of the Zebstrika to completely flip to the game. John plays Raihan to search out that Seismitoad, and as you can see, it has the Quaking Zone ability and the Echoed Voice attack. Echoed Voice does 120 damage. I said 100 earlier, but 120 is still 20 short of 140. So that Electivire will stick around. Elekid gonna go down. John hoping on his following turn he can knock out the Electivire in one hit, being able to use Echoed Voice back to back to give it the extra 100 damage. Abyssal Hand for 2 more cards. I'm not sure if John plays any healing items or Rough Seas to mitigate some of this spread damage. Just has to go in for the Echoed Voice and take his first prize of the game. And that Octillery and Sobble and Castform will all be going down to an Electivire this turn, leaving just the Seismitoad with the Pot Helmet. Although the Pot Helmet alongside the Seismitoad could swing the game. It is possible. I have seen it happen. Seismitoad is a beast, has very high HP, and blocking damage against a spread deck will make it very hard to knock out this Pokemon. And don't forget its ability forces Alex to have 1 more energy than normal to attack. Alex playing an Arven, eyeing up that Field Blower, probably to get rid of that Pot Helmet to put as much damage as possible onto the Seismitoad. Floatstone is the other choice. Although Alex second guessing it here. Checking his discard, checking his resources. Looks like he is going to switch out the Field Blower for a different choice. Escape Rope. That is a very strong choice from Alex because it resets John's Echoed Voice attack, which means if John attacks with the Seismitoad again next turn, it will still be only 120 damage, meaning it won't knock out the Electivire. So Alex gets almost a guaranteed another 2 attacks with this Electivire, and usually that is enough to win a game in most matchups. We'll see if it can still do enough to get around this Seismitoad once it comes back up. That's John's only hope at this point. Alex playing Palpad, putting back a couple key supporters. And since Seismitoad is not in the active, Alex does not need an extra energy on the Electivire to attack. Uses Sprint to draw 4 fresh cards. Professor's Letter with no hits, no energy left remaining in deck. They're probably all in the discard pile, ready to be put into play with those Dynamotor abilities. Alex just thinning his deck at this point, making it as consistent as possible so that he can continue looping attacks against this Seismitoad to win the game. Just got to close it out, get around this Seismitoad. All of John's Pokemon are going to be KO'd this turn, and John will not be able to put any more Pokemon into play after this because it will give Alex an even easier route to win. You want to force Alex to go through the Seismitoad at this point. And since that Echoed Voice is not going to be able to KO the Electivire, John's going to target down the Dynamotor Flaffy with the Float Stone with Echoed Voice to take another prize. And next turn, we'll be able to take out the Electivire. As of now, Seismitoad won't die to the Electivire, but this is interesting. Morpeko could get in there. It has the Torment attack, which you can choose one of your opponent's Pokemon's attacks in the active, and they can't use it on the next turn. So Alex could force John to bench another Pokemon with something like Torment, blocking it from using Echoed Voice, and then take the win on whatever John benches next turn. And you see that might be what Alex is setting up here with the energy attachment onto that Morpeko. Going to use Professor Sycamore to draw 7 new cards. Just want to see as many cards as possible. Has that 4th energy also onto that Electivire, so can also attack with Electivire. Electro Power to boost damage by 30. 80 damage from this Electivire coming into this Seismitoad. And it looks like, yep, they're doing the math even with the pot helmet. I think through the weakness is enough to knock out that Seismitoad. Yep. Alex takes his final prize and earns his 2nd badge at the Full Grip Games Gym Leader Challenge League with Spread Lightning, Alex's favorite deck to play. Him and Hunter cooked this up, played it many, many times. It is a very strong deck. Alex gets his 2nd badge. John falling a bit short with the Seismitoad. Congrats to Alex, and we'll see you next week for a Halloween special episode of Gym Leader Challenge. Stay tuned. Please subscribe if you are enjoying the videos, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.